Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Gotham, Season 1, Episode 4, Arkham. I'm your host, Dom. With me, I have my co-host, John. Omikins and Clio rocking her ASOTV mug.
Yep. I drew it on there.
Oh,
all
yeah.
by myself.
I did it.
I did.
Do you guys have ham?
I do not.
No, not today.
Fridge.
I don't got ham.
Oh, you got ham in the fridge? I'm coming over. I'll be there tomorrow for some ham.
Sweet.
We'll save the ham for Tuesday.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Perfect. So, 4 episodes in. What'd you guys think? How's this show shaping up?
Well, this, I mean, it's getting better, I think. I mean, I wasn't disappointed with this episode. I don't think it progressed as much as it could have, but it was still really good.
I really don't know. Kind of on the fence.
You're on the fence?
I'm on the fence knowing that if it keeps at this pace and it's been extended for 22 episodes, that people are going to start snoring by when it was supposed to end.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think the extra episodes are going to help them.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be 16 episodes. It's been brought up to 22, so we're going to have 6 additional episodes this season that they did not plan on. And I'm really on the fence about that. It's just, I feel like they're going to hit their stride at some point, but my big gripe is every single episode thus far has felt like it's come from a completely different show.
Yeah.
The styles, like, they don't match at all. It's I don't know what it is, but like the pilot was very different from the second episode. The second episode was extremely different from the third, and the third is very different than the fourth, and none of these episodes feel like they were the same kind of episode. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm following the story, but you're right. They don't really meld or mesh or smooth into each other very well. It's kind of fragmented.
It's kind of more, it seems like they're treating this show almost like Law and Order, like where it's just episodic, solve this case, done, solve this case, done,
Right, there's some stuff that ties it together, and like there is an ongoing story, but like, I don't know, like the first episode dealt really closely with the Wayne murder, and it was like how this affected everybody involved. What was the second episode now? That was the Selena Kyle, the Catwoman one. And that was like, I don't even know the best way to describe it, but it was just, it felt very different from the first, and I really liked that episode. I think they did a phenomenal job with that episode. Episode 3 felt like it focused on the 2 cops, Harvey and Gordon, and it was kind of like a cop drama almost. And then this one it splinters the 2 of them apart. It shows like how they're strong on their own, like their own strengths and stuff like that. And it really didn't focus on the cop thing. It focused on the mob, and it just seems like it's all over the place, and I don't know where I should be focusing the brunt of my attention.
I mean, I guess, maybe it's just because they feel like they're resolving things, like kind of like, okay, we had the cop drama, they're starting to like each other now, and let's see what the mobs do. I mean, they're not, but they're getting,
they're understanding.
Along a lot
better. They've reached an understanding with each other.
Yes.
Right, they're not trying to punch each other in the face every episode, which is a good change of pace, because that would have gotten old very quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, Bullock is trusting Gordon now because, he wouldn't have showed up at the mayor's office if he didn't think Gordon was right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So there's like little threads, but you know, I don't know. I guess there's just maybe they're getting to it, hopefully.
I'm hoping they find a more consistent groove soon, because that's really what's going to get me into it. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those shows that by the time it hits like its second or third season, I'm going to be like, you guys got to watch this, but put up with the first 2 seasons because it's a little iffy, you know, whatever. Because I recently had to do that with another show, Once Upon a Time. Right, we cover that show. If you guys haven't watched it, go check out our Once Upon a Time podcast. But I tell everybody, season 1.
Handle these plugs, bro.
I was waiting for that, John. Thank you. But I tell everybody, season 1 is very weak. It's a good season. It's interesting, but it's their weakest season. It really is. And then, you know, their second season, it gets better, but it's still a little weak. And it's not until the third season where they really hit that stride and understand themselves and know what they're doing. And I have a feeling that's going to be the case with Gotham. It's going to take a while for the show to grow and grow into itself. So,
yeah.
I mean, like Bruce is probably my biggest nitpick of this whole show right now. And like we have Bruce pulling all these crazy antics in the first 3 episodes, and now this 4th one, he's like all calm, cool, collected, like he knows what he's doing. Like, he's got a grip on his emotions. Yeah, he's still being tormented by his parents' death. He's waking up from nightmares, but he's waking up from them, and he's cool, calm, and collected.
Well, we talked about this last episode with the Balloon Man, how he's sort of focused himself and what he wants to do, and how he knows where he wants to go to be able to not let his fear stop him from helping anyone ever again.
Right.
So, yeah. It's not like that one came out of left field. That one makes sense.
Just within the 4 episodes, I don't know what the time frame is on the, you know, in the episode, in the world, whatever that they're living in, but it seems like it all happened really fast.
Well, everyone...
Maybe not 4 days apart, but it seems like this all happened within the span of like 2 weeks.
Well, he is still grieving, but I don't know, he something clicked in his head where it's not, doesn't want to hurt himself anymore.
He just is like, that's going in the vault.
Putting that in the vault.
Putting that in the vault.
I mean, I'd love to see them take more time and grow the character itself than like to force him, because they're really forcing Batman. Like,
there's too much Bruce. We talked about this last episode too.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't think we're gonna see him for a while now, and he's in this episode a lot. It's like, oh, all right, okay.
They're just shoving him in there. Like, we had the whole scene, you know, with him and Alfred, where he's like, do you believe Gotham could be saved? And Gordon goes, I believe it's worth trying. And it's just like, how much more Batman can you force on us right now? Like, I feel like at this rate, by the end of the season, he's gonna stumble into the Batcave.
He might.
I'm not kidding. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that I could see that being the final episode of the season, is him running somewhere and he trips and falls and he's in the cave and bats fly at the screen and the camera goes black. That's how I see the season ending.
Well, I don't think that's out of the question.
No, I don't think so.
He might, you know, it's going to take him years to become Batman, but laying the groundwork could happen now.
Yeah. I just feel like it's way too forced.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to argue with you. I was just saying his character development is not necessarily very forced, but how they're putting him in the story, yeah, probably is.
Yeah. Another character that feels a little forced to me is Barbara. Like,
God, thank you.
She continually feels like she is out of place in every scene that she's in.
She is.
I understand.
I understand she's got a secret, and we don't know what that is, and Gordon doesn't know what that is. But it's like, lady, what the fuck do you do all day? You sit there and complain that Gordon's not telling you everything.
I literally said that. I'm like, what have you been doing all day?
What do you do all day?
Like, swirling her wine in the glass, like, I wonder when he's coming home.
She's like, I'm stressed, I worry about you, I smoke weed. It's like, what are you doing that you need to smoke all that weed?
The fuck? Your day's rough, bruh.
So rough.
Rough. I have to sit. I don't have a TV. Why don't I have a TV?
She doesn't have a TV.
There's no TV in that house,
It's
is
true.
there?
Fuck! Why? What do you do? I just watch the city and sip Chardonnay. Ghosts.
I mean, she's got a big enough window to look out of, right?
Yeah.
She's
A transparent.
got a whole clock. Hey, what time is it? Better look outside.
Nikki, what's your feelings on Barbara?
Utter hatred.
They got it all right. I'm not
I'm
even.
very glad. Very
I
glad
can't
you all jumped on my
express anything
bandwagon.
more. They've got it all down pat.
I'm very
it's-
glad you all jumped on my bandwagon.
It seems like she could very potentially have a good story going. Like the relationship with Montoya, right?
Yeah.
From the comics, we know Montoya had this relationship, and it ends up being what drove initially, what inevitably drives her out of the police force. But it
Are
was
some other
never
police force?
Montoya.
She's in the police force.
Yeah, I know. That's what drives her out of it. She gets a lot of flack for her lesbian relationship, and it drives her out of the police force.
Oh, is that what happens in the comics?
That's what happens in the comics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
However, it was not with Barbara in the comics. So,
Yeah.
like, the fact that they added that to Barbara's story, it kind of puts a fresh twist on things.
Yeah.
Right? And I just feel like with all this potential that they have with Barbara and all these stories that they're setting up, that she's just extremely shoehorned. Like, the scene when Cobblepot walks in, like, the very thing. It's like, how awkward was that with her? Like, it wasn't even awkward to the point where it was awkward enough to enjoy the situation. It was like, I felt awkward, and when do I ever feel awkward about anything?
It was weird because she was like, Jim, look, a people. Talk to it.
What does she do all fucking day? She's
What?
people, obviously.
Mhm. Well, I don't know, because she's like this big, or whatever, art curator, dealer, who cares? But I feel like there's something they're not telling us that she does. But it's like, what is it?
Well,
I don't care that much, actually.
as Lee Silver mentioned last week, we discussed the fact that maybe she could potentially be the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
Yeah. That doesn't explain what she does all day.
No.
Listen, I know what she does all day. She waits for someone to knock on the door, and then she opens it up, and he's like, hey, I'm selling vacuums. She's like, oh my god, come in, we're best friends. and because in the middle of the night, when a short man in a tuxedo suit goes, hello, I would like to talk to Jim. Oh, good. What?
What's a
What? What? What is wrong with you?
I'll make some specialty for you.
Well,
I
he presented himself as a friend of Jim's, so she was like, oh, friend of Jim's is a friend of mine.
Let me go get some
He's
coffee.
never mentioned you.
Yeah.
Let me go make coffee, because that's the only other thing that I know how to do, is make coffee.
Eat coffee,
I'm
drink
good at
wine, and
that.
smoke weed.
The Keurig does it. I just push the button.
That's how I make coffee.
I feel bad. We're ragging on Barbara. Feel bad, and I don't like her.
I know, but I like Barbara and other stories.
I mean,
feel
what
Yes.
was... Yeah,
I
no.
like good Barbara.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what was the whole point of Cobblepot in the first place? Like, I didn't understand that at all.
Why he was there?
Yeah.
He wants to be top boss, and if he feeds Gordon information, that's gonna bring down both sides of the house, and he'll be left standing.
I guess. It just seemed like nothing was accomplished with him. He was showing off to Gordon that he had information for what seemed like no reason.
No, that's how we were introduced to Cobblepot. He was kind of ratting on fish.
Yeah.
So he's kind of doing the same thing, and yet he's walking away with bags of moolah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's trying to put himself up there. He wants to be top boss. So if he can take down someone else and get up there himself.
I mean, he already
Okay.
tried with Falcone and Fish, and it did not work at all. So he moved over to Mooney, Maroney,
Macaroni?
Macaroni. He moved over to Macaroni, who seemed a lot more receptive to trusting people that he probably shouldn't be trusting.
Yeah.
Like, he just met Cobblepot, who
Yes.
I forget the name that he went by last
He
episode.
made him restaurant manager. It's like, do you know that this kid knows anything about managing a restaurant?
Yeah. I mean, he had one
He's-
conversation with him.
He's
and then
definitely the dumber.
He
the
saved him
dumbest
some
of the
money.
bosses.
Well, we do know the time frame between when he started washing dishes and now, and it was what, a 2-week period?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good catch
so we
on
can
that.
start.
Okay, so yeah, about 2 weeks has gone since then, and I think maybe about a week went on before that. Because we had the murder, and then we had the funeral, and normally it's like 2-3 days between that. And the Selena Kyle episode was immediately following that episode. So I'm under the impression that, yeah, maybe about 4 weeks have gone by at this point. About a month worth of Gotham. But Penguin not only has moved up the ranks in Maroni's operation, but he orchestrated this whole elaborate robbery and murder.
Yeah.
You know, he gained money and respect out of, like, his crew that he was working with. But then he kills off his crew and, like, leaves no loose ends whatsoever. He basically pulled a Joker from the Dark Knight movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was impressed. I
did
like,
good.
Yeah, I was like, good on you.
Yeah, if that was his goal, then he did it. If he's trying to come to power, I don't know why he would be killing off his dudes, you know?
They weren't really his dudes. They were just people that he's like, yeah, this is going to be an easy job. You'll get lots of money out of it.
He's
And
killing
like,
the evidence.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's the evidence, because if one of them rats or somebody gets recognized or gets traced back, then he's fucked.
Yeah.
They didn't seem like they were like these big elaborate criminal masterminds. They seemed like if they got caught by the police, by Falcone, by Maroni, by any of them, that they would squeal immediately.
Yeah.
So he had to poison the cannolis and feed them. I knew as soon as they were eating those cannolis.
Oh
like,
yeah,
don't do
especially since he didn't have one.
I knew exactly as soon as he brought in that pink box. It's like, oh yeah, there's like poison in there and shit. These guys are so dead.
No, don't do it. And then that one guy's like half eating it, and he offers it to him. Like, why would you offer something that's been in your mouth to like?
Yeah, that you just took a bite out of.
Yeah.
Hmm?
And he's like, nah, I'm good. The next scene, they're all dead, drop dead. So, yeah, Penguin is 100% the most interesting character on the show right now. There's no doubt about it. He's more. I like Gordon, right? I like Gordon quite a bit, but he's nowhere near as interesting as Cobblepot. And this is what has started out as what we thought was going to be the Gordon Bruce show.
Yeah.
In my opinion, is turning into the Penguin show.
Mm-hmm. But
Kind of.
Dom, aren't you just fascinated by the Riddler?
Oh,
Just
God.
best.
Don't even get me started on Mr.
The
Nigma.
fucking worst. God damn.
When
He showed up, and I'm just like,
I saw him walk in the background, and I go, no.
Yeah.
No, don't open your mouth. Don't do it. Just show him walking, like, please, that's it. And then he goes something about a paradox. Do you even know what a paradox is, Nigma? Like, that was not a paradox that he was stating.
Oh, I thought he said pair of socks.
He's the Riddler.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Just because
yeah, they're not writing him very well.
Just because the murderer killed
Oh.
somebody on both sides of, that's not a paradox. That just equates to the
No,
fact that
it's
it's
a
not the
coincidence.
two factions. It's a vigilante, like, middleman, like, that wants to take both of them down. That's not a paradox.
Yeah, it's no, at most it's a coincidence.
Yeah, for someone who's supposed to be like so adept at puzzles and riddles, and they're, like Cleo said, they're writing him awfully. Like, this, I have not seen a character written worse than this on any show ever. I think
bad.
the yellow Teletubby had more of a backstory and good writing and lines than Edward Nigma did.
You know what they should do? They should just give him a Rubik's Cube in every scene. and that would just improve him vastly. Because just be like, oh, wow, look at this. It's a puzzle, and yes, you're actually right about that. Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's playing with those rings, trying to like disconnect them and connect.
I mean, I could solve on a Rubik's Cube, and they're not that difficult. You just need to know the trick to them. Once you know the trick, it's very easy. But you get... I don't know. There's nothing in in any of these episodes. There's nothing in the series whatsoever that is telling me that he's actually an intelligent being.
No.
I mean, when Harvey goes, I know what a paradox is, stupid, or whatever, however he phrased it. I mean, that's just like, that's basically spitting in the face of the Riddler.
Yeah.
I mean, it eventually will give him reason to go fucking nuts, right?
Yeah, but God,
Nope.
Well, the
he's
thing
always
is,
been such an intelligent character, though, and if he goes nuts, then I see no intelligence coming out of it.
Here's how we know he's just written badly, because nobody is like correcting him, like saying that's not a paradox. He's just written badly. That's all it is. Writers don't know what a riddle is,
and they don't know what to do with him.
I mean, I guarantee you, if I put John on the spot right now, he could write a better riddle.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
There you go. See, look.
and you'd be right. That's a better riddle than the riddle that the Riddler uses.
It's true. It's true. It is.
I think. I mean, and this is no excuse, but maybe they're afraid of making him too cartoony, because.
Well, they've succeeded.
But like the Riddler's a very animated person, he's not animated enough. Like, he's not, because the Riddler's an outlandish fellow,
right,
traditionally, and he's very. He has like very strong gestures, and he's outlandish and very eccentric. But like, obviously, the character isn't there yet. But like, they could be showing some of those little idiosyncrasies.
Instead, he's just like. He's just like. I said a thing.
I wrote this down. Yay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Props, ladies and gentlemen.
I just think no one put any thought to his lines, basically.
No, there's not. There's not. It really, really bugs me. Just, like, write him out of the show. There's absolutely no point of him right now. Just take him out. Go back and, like, erase him out. I don't even want to see him on the DVD release. Like, just take him out. Director's cut. Boom. Gone. I'm sure at some point he's going to be an interesting character, but until then, I don't want to see him again. I was very happy episode 3 when we didn't deal with him in any way, shape, or form. And as soon as I saw him strolling the screen, I was just like, get out of here.
I forgot about him last episode. I really did. I was like, oh yeah, Riddler. Shit. You're here.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like last week, we were introduced to a new villain for this episode. I don't remember his name. It wasn't significant enough to me. But I do know it was a completely original character for the show. It was no backstory whatsoever in the comics or anything like that.
He's the poker.
He was what? The poker? He was picking off members of both Falcone and Maroni. What was your guys' take on this character?
Oh, I liked him.
Mm-hmm. He was cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
Unnecessary weapon, but he was cool.
Just lit the guy on fire.
Yeah.
The barrel.
He did?
No, John.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary weapon. It was like...
Was it really unnecessary, though?
Yeah, when you have
because
to take preparation time to make sure your weapon's working properly, yeah, it's unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's not like it's some crazy contraption. It's literally just a metal spike that goes, and that's it.
Yeah, it's an awesome kaleidoscope. Just look inside and push the button.
It doesn't make any sense. It's too complicated for its simplicity.
Well, does it? Because here's the thing. That this is not the first time you guys have ever seen this weapon before. There's a weapon very similar to the end of the Penguin's umbrella that functions almost exactly like this.
Oh, yeah.
So
You just have to. He has to click his cane and then ching, and it comes
Yep.
out.
Yep. So
Yeah,
do,
but this
do you
guy
guys
has
think
to-
this is the origin story of the Penguin's weapon?
For his weapon.
Yeah, but
We do have an episode coming up called The Penguin's Umbrella.
We do.
So.
But the Penguin doesn't have to take two pieces of his umbrella and screw them together in order to use it.
Correct. It could just be retrofitted as the handle of the umbrella.
Yeah, but then why does this assassin have to screw them together? Why can't they just be together all the
So
time?
he can walk around and conceal it shorter. So he doesn't have
Because
to
it's
carry
not
this big
fucking
long rod
stuck
down
together.
half his pants.
It's this big. You tell me
Listen.
that can't fit in your coat?
Clearly doesn't fit in his pocket.
Clearly, he
That
has a
would
lot
give
of
me
things
the
on
wrong
him.
impression, especially if it was in the front pocket.
John, what was the thing from Resident Evil? You can't pick up this,
You can't pick up this
gun-
egg. Your pockets are full of rifles.
I mean, you don't want to accidentally put that in your pocket and have it go off either. So maybe that's why he's disassembling it.
Yeah, it's not together. Together, it's a weapon. When it's separate, it's not. It's just pieces of useless metal
Pipes.
until you click.
Okay, I don't know. I think it's weird.
Yeah,
It
it's,
is
It
weird.
definitely is
That's
weird. It definitely is weird, but I'm convinced that this is the origin story for the umbrella.
I
Could
can
be.
see that.
I like the character though, the assassin. He's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really cool.
He was. But even more so, if this is the origin story of the umbrella, this is just further showing that this should be the Penguin show. Just take all the
Yeah.
other characters out of it. Like, just give us the Penguin.
Show.
I hope that they do that.
Good.
Like, at some point.
Well,
like,
I mean,
just-
Penguin. Let's break it down. Penguin to function to get what he wants, he needs, for some reason Gordon, because he's using Gordon, but then he needs to beat Maroni, beat Falcone, beat Fish. So we need those characters.
Right.
Everybody else can just go fuck
We
off.
need those characters, but we don't need them to eat up 95% of the show.
Which I mean, they don't. The mob bosses don't. They should pop up in and out.
Yeah. I mean, Maroni's still listed as a guest star.
Hmm.
He's not even as like.
He's not long for this world.
Mm,
Out of the mob bosses, he is by far the stupidest.
yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna last very long. Whether he dies at the hands of the Penguin or Falcone, I don't know, but he's not gonna last very long.
Does either of you two, because Chrissy and I watched Boardwalk Empire, but did you two ever watch it?
No.
Because he, like, for some reason reminds me of the guy George Remus from that show. He's just like, Remus does not like this plan. And I'm like, God, you are the same human being. You are just that stupid. Remus doesn't sign contracts he doesn't understand. It's like, yeah, neither does Maroni.
Yeah,
You-
Maroni
you
seems easily
Run my
manipulated.
restaurant.
I only remember him from Dexter, so he's
Yes.
playing completely different character.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I said that. Oh, you weren't there, Omi. Yeah, I said that
No.
last epistement. It's like, it's Angel!
He still looks really weird with the beard. I just
Danielle.
I
Yeah.
can't get over it. But we also got to spend some quality time with the mayor this episode, which previously we had only seen him in TV commercial, and I think
Yeah.
he was
Well,
referenced
no,
to.
we saw him. We
He
saw
was
him
in
in the
the
second
office.
episode.
Of the chief.
The
No.
bus, with the buses and the kids. He was in the second episode.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't very long. He didn't have. He had a decent amount of screen time this episode. But it seemed like even he didn't understand the level of corruption that ran in the police department.
He's the
Which
reason there's
boggles my
corruption.
mind because
Yeah.
he's part of it.
Right.
He's
Which-
the main perpetrator of it.
I don't understand. Like,
Well-
that's a paradox right there. All right,
No,
write that
I
down,
don't-
Nigma.
I don't think he doesn't know there's corruption. He just thinks he has more control than he does. Because he's like, I've got the police guys right here, and he's like, they're gone. No, you don't have them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are other people who are willing to pay a lot more than you.
I just
So-
took a peek in the car. They're not there. Let's get out of here. Oh, let me go pack a bag first.
Do you know where you are?
Yeah, what the fuck did he take? What was so
Looked like
important?
he had money.
money clips, wallets.
It was all stuff he was taking
The
out of
money
the
gun.
safe. Leave the safe. It's gonna be there when you come back.
Yeah, they don't
coming
want
for
your
you.
shit. They want you.
And then the way that Gordon and Harvey solve every case is by shooting someone.
Mm.
It's like, how many
I
people
mean-
are you going to kill that you're supposedly trying to clean up Gotham? You're gonna kill everyone?
Doesn't Bullock shoot everybody? No.
Bullock shot.
Wait, did they kill the balloon man?
No,
He's
that's,
alive.
that's the one that they saved. Right? They
Yeah.
shot the dude in the first episode, Mario
Yep.
Pepper. I don't remember now. Did they kill the couple in the second episode? I don't remember the fate of the couple.
I'm pretty.
No, they're
Did they get taken off to
They're not
jail or
dead.
did they die?
I don't think they're dead.
I
Can't
don't remember
remember.
now.
I don't know.
So this is at least the second person that they killed.
Well, I think that was by design because I'm pretty sure he wanted to get killed
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he was
gonna go after
he was
them
like, well,
whether they had a gun pointed at him
still
or
gotta
not.
do my job.
Yeah,
They could have
Yeah.
shot him in the
Yeah.
leg.
he would have.
That's what I said.
He was gonna keep going, even if you shot him in the leg. He seemed
He's
pretty.
not Jeepers Creepers. He's like, you
No,
shoot him in the leg, he's down. You can run up and handcuff him, disarm him, handcuff him, and take him away.
This is a comic book universe where things can happen. So I'm pretty sure he would have just kept going.
Could be.
I mean, if you pop him in the kneecap, I mean, physically and logically and like in real life, that's the thing that'll bring a person down for sure, no matter what. But I'm pretty sure whoever shot him is not that precise.
Well, no, it was a snapshot, so they probably didn't have time to aim. Really, they were just
Yeah.
like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But then the mayor makes a choice to appease both Falcone and Maroni by opening both of their projects around the Arkham district and then saying that they're going to open Arkham itself. Do you think this was a good choice to stop this turf war, so to speak?
Turf War is going to get worse. I mean, they're going to be right beside each other. There's going to be a Falcone man there, and there's going to be a line. There's going to be a Maroni man there, and they're going to be looking at each other, and they're going to be talking across this little imaginary line, and it's not going to be pretty.
Step over that line, I dare you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Forget
I
about it.
swear my mother's life. I swear to God, I'll shoot you.
Uh,
Are you questioning my mother's sauce? How dare you?
the whole mob
Not a
boss story
sauce.
seems a little weak to me too. I mean, Maroni should not be so easily manipulated by some guy that's been in your operation for 2 weeks.
Well, Maroni is new. He's new to power. He rose quickly, and he's not smart.
It's taking big risks.
He got lucky. And his luck's
Mhm.
gonna run out, so.
And we know Falcone is going to be around for a while. He's not going anywhere.
We don't
No.
know.
As much as Fish really wants to take him down, he's not gonna go
She's
down that easy.
doomed because Batman takes him down.
hmm Yes, because as we know from Batman Begins, we see Falcone there, so we know that he's at least around until Bruce is old enough to become Batman.
Yeah.
Assuming
You
they
know,
don't
and-
change the lore.
Is it,
Yeah,
is
I
it
mean,
considered
that's
lore?
what I was gonna say.
Is
I
this
don't know.
considered lore?
Whatever.
Comic book lore? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, guess.
Then we saw Fish kind of recruiting these new girls. Right? We had the one
That
that
was weird.
sang really well, and then we had the other one that just basically did what it took for the position. And she ends up pitting the two of them against each other, not telling them what to do. They took it amongst themselves that they had to fight for the position, which I thought was rather
Like the one
interesting.
just started taking her earrings off, and the other one was like, "You want me to fight her?"
Yeah. So her winning pick ended up being this girl, Liza. She wore fishnet, she wore black leather. Only person... Well, I can't say the only person. I initially thought Harley Quinn. Just the stance that she was sitting in with the cocked leg, and I was like, that's got to be Harley Quinn. But then the more I thought about it, and I did a little research, the only person in the DC universe that really wears fishnet and black leather, female,
Don't say it.
is Black Canary.
It's not Black Canary. You're high. It's not Black Canary.
Okay, have you looked at other ladies that are walking the street of Gotham? A lot of them are wearing leather and fishnet, so this whole... it doesn't work.
Prominent characters, fishnet, black leather. Black Canary's the only one. And from what I understand is Black Canary, there was Black Canary and there was a second Black Canary, one of which was the daughter of the original Black Canary. So that leaves room for this to be the original Black Canary.
Well, I mean, we're coming back to, are they tying this to Arrow?
Right.
And if they are,
We know
she's
Black Canary.
not Black Canary.
We know Black Canary is
She's
in Arrow.
neither Black Canary. If we're tying this to Arrow,
Right.
she cannot be either Black Canary.
Why not?
Because we know Black Canary is Sarah Lance, and we know her mother.
Okay.
So
So how do we know that this isn't the mother?
God, now I'm forgetting the mother's name.
Just because this girl is going by the name Liza, does that not mean that that's her actual name?
Yeah.
'Cause-
I'm confused about her. I didn't get that whole
No, because she wants
thing.
Fish wants a weapon, but why? She doesn't seem like a weapon. Is she gonna make her into
Like,
a weapon? What kind
I feel
of
like
weapon?
my initial thought was that she was going to send him to go seduce Jim or something. I don't know why I thought that, but that's the inkling I got. She was going to use her to sleep with dudes and manipulate them somehow.
Seduce me.
But
Yeah.
I don't
What?
touch me places. It's dude, no.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
which one do you think is more likely? Her being Black Canary or being Harley Quinn?
I just think she's gonna be a character that
Neither.
Fish is
Neither.
just gonna use.
Am I allowed to say
I-
neither?
You can say neither.
I said
Neither.
neither as well.
I think everything is
Because
just...
Harley Quinn, she was a therapist for the Joker, and that's why she ended up being Harley Quinn.
Right, but
So,
we
I
don't
don't-
really...
I didn't know that.
We don't really know much about Liza, what her role is outside of whatever she does at the club, because apparently she can't sing, and she had
Put it
only
this way,
just started doing
really doubt she's a therapist.
it. But
Really
if
doubt
the
it.
comedian that was also in the first episode ends up being the Joker, having them both be around Fish Mooney's place to meet up could be.
Yeah,
They could tweak their origin stories a little bit too.
yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Maybe she's an undercover therapist.
oh,
Dude, undercover brother.
No, she's a gal.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys could think of to touch on for this episode?
Alfred's adorable.
He really
Yes.
is.
He's I hope it wasn't about me. It's oh. Bruce only has good dreams about Alfred.
It's a little creepy.
I don't know. It was nice. I liked Alfred this episode. He was just he was just not, he didn't have a reason to be pissed off anymore, and he's kind of, I guess, more accepting of Bruce's antics, which is, he didn't put up much of a fight when he was I want to see all the files, and he was like, all right, there's a lot of them.
There's
But
mountains of them. I want to see them all.
I guess he's figuring it'll keep him out of trouble, so he's just yeah, you know what? Yes, this is productive at least, so go do that.
It's keeping him from jumping off roofs and lighting himself on fire, so.
Right. I like that. That was a nice, good on them. Good job, writers.
Yeah, no, Alfred's the redeeming part of the whole Bruce story right now. It's like the yin and yang.
Yeah.
So, next week, the episode is called Viper. And in it, Gordon and Bullock search for the source of a new street drug that causes a euphoria and then death. Meanwhile, Oswald Cobblepot works his way deeper into Maroni's inner circle, and Fish Mooney continues to plot against Falcone. The drug seems very Jokerish from the 1989 Batman movie.
Yeah.
So...
like to a T.
Yeah. I'm a little worried. This show really has me worried right now. It seems like they're jumping the gun on everything. They're jumping the gun on Arkham Asylum, right? I understand it's got to be open and functioning and all that stuff, but they're like making it too important at this point by making the turf war deal with it.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's way too important for what it is at this point. They're stressing too much on, maybe not Penguin, because like I said, Penguin's so redeeming. His story is so interesting, and it doesn't feel forced. His is probably the only thing on the show that does not feel forced right now. It feels like a natural progression. But Bruce feels forced, Barbara feels forced, Gordon himself feels forced. There's a lot of forcing on this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not worried about this season. I'm more worried about their longevity.
Yeah.
You know, like they could fake their way through this season. They have plenty of content, but like down the line, they're going to run themselves really thin very quickly if they keep it up at this pace. So, I don't know. This might only be like a 2-3 season show if they keep going like this.
Yeah. I mean, like this drug, it just seems like it's ripped right out of that movie. And for them to take a story like that they could potentially build up and use later, and I feel like it would work a lot better later on than now. Now just seems like too soon to me. They've done a really good job establishing all these characters that don't have an origin in the DC comics. You know, the Balloon Man, the stabby pokey guy, you know, whatever his name was.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Well,
like, just stick with that. Like, stop throwing all these references. We don't need them. But, like, Nikki, how does this feel to you? Because you're someone that's not as well versed in the universe, and like I know you're dealing with us complaining about it all. But like, how does this stuff? How do you react to this kind of stuff, not knowing the source material?
See, I do like the series, but I can agree that some of the characters are really unnecessary, even though they are part of the story. But I mean, like Barbara, I could see her gone and not really give a crap. The Riddler, what's his face?
Edward Nigma.
Ed.
Enigma.
I mean, Enigma.
Enigma.
He's not necessary either. Like, they don't need to have him in there, throwing, just to, aggravate freaking Bullock. I mean, Gordon already does that. We don't need another person doing that. So,
Yeah.
there are, like I said, there's a lot of unnecessary characters, even though they belong in the story.
Mm.
And that really feeds into how I'm feeling about the series so far.
Mm. So, what do you think? Are you enjoying it, or is this a show you find yourself slowly winding out of your rotation?
No, I mean, as soon as it airs, I mean, I want to watch it. I want to see where they're gonna go with it. I want to see if they're gonna grow or how they're gonna decline. I want to, I want to see good things from this series,
Yeah,
because
I do too.
it is interesting to me, but the pace is completely bonkers.
Yeah.
There's no flow.
I think the general consensus is we all want this show to succeed. We know it has the potential to be a really good show. It just needs to find its groove.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that they maybe start getting towards the mystery around the doll maker. I mean, that would be really, really compelling. It would kind of force them to get away from all these other extraneous nonsense characters that we don't need. Like, they have this really creepy villain who was abducting children. Like,
Yes.
go with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
where did that thread is gone now.
Well,
and I
that
was
thread
really
is-
hoping we'd slowly get more of that.
that thread is overseas, and I feel that thread will come back when we look into Gordon's past, because we talked about it that episode that we think Gordon killed the dollmaker's father while he was overseas at the war in the war.
Right.
So,
but they're like, I wish they would harp on that more so than harp on Bruce and the Riddler and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
And this very much reminds me of another show, to a degree, which was Fringe. And I despised Fringe at first. I actually did not like it. And it wasn't until the very end of the first season when they ended up tying the entire first season together. It was like maybe 2 episodes away from like the end of that season. All these singular cases. It was a very like X-Files kind of thing, when this, like you said, is a very kind of Law and Order kind of thing, and they all seem like individual cases. The way Fringe worked is at the end of the first season, they tied it all together, and every single one of those individual cases had purpose to a much greater case that you didn't even realize or were aware that there were these connections. And if they can pull that off at the end of this season and do something like that and tie all these cases together, then it's going to completely revolutionize the next season.
there are already a couple of very big differences between Gotham and Fringe.
Well, yeah. I'm just using that as an example of tying the threads together.
Like, Gotham doesn't have Walter. What?
Well,
John
it's
Noble.
more like with Gotham, I don't care about all the threads. Some of the threads, you could just throw them away. In Fringe, I cared about every one of those threads. They were all interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
All interesting.
No, it was an interesting show. Like, that's not what I was arguing. I was just I
No,
like a
I've-
cohesive, like, collective story that all makes sense. Fringe did not have that initially, and there was a turning point in that first season where all of a sudden it was connected, and I'm hoping that Gotham can do that and take the Balloon Man and the Penguin's umbrella thing guy, poker dude, and Bruce's parents, and tie all of that together. If they can do that, pull that off, the next season is going to be huge, like,
Real
above
good.
where the camera view is, like, on a level that high.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
We can. Like I said, we want this show to succeed. We don't want it to fail, but we need to see...
And it's not that I don't like it.
Right.
I really like the show, too.
Oh, so do I.
You know.
Yeah, I don't want to get that misconstrued. I think we all really do enjoy the show. There's just a lot of things that they need to fix.
That we're concerned about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys have anything else for us?
No. Not me.
I found this twisty tie. It is a better character than the Riddler. It has...
This is my hair last
It could be like 2 things. It could be like this, and then it could be like... And that's 2 things. And the Riddler is less than that.
It also doesn't get a paradox wrong.
No.
No. It gets very much nothing wrong.
See, my hair elastic is actually a useful character because it can keep my hair in.
Oh.
See?
John, where can the people find you and your squiggly thing?
Me and Squiggles over here. You can find me on @NoMoreNoMore on the Twitter, and I haven't started tweeting my dick pics yet, but it's tonight. It's the first one. It's happening. So
I'm
get ready.
unsubscribing from you.
It's happening.
Dude, do you want to explain that to Omi, who looks very, very concerned?
No.
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 Just gonna let that go.
Yeah, I'm gonna unsubscribe from John right at the end of this podcast.
Yep. You don't even have time. I'm gonna do it like right now.
Obi, where can the people find you?
They
Gotta
can
finish
also
this show
find me
quick.
on Twitter at LadyVenom24,
Uh-huh.
LadyYVenom24. It will not be dick pics.
Well, can we find your hair tie
She's
there
lying.
at least?
Sure.
Sure. Clio, where can the people find you?
You
And
can
your
find me...
characters that are Just everything that's so much better than the Riddler.
You can find me all over the internet at Cleomoto.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomedom, Phenomedom.
Phenomenon.
You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and right here on YouTube /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, episode of The Flash.
Done.
Also DC Universe.
You're welcome, Internet. You're welcome. It
I
happened.
didn't even have time to unsubscribe.
It's on
Fucking
your
told you I
feed
would.
already.
I told you I would.
No! This is the worst ever.
Literally the worst.
I can't unsee it.